Okay, we're now back on live stream again, and thanks everybody for your deliberations at the table and the very good questions in the last panel session. And apologies again, it's impossible to get to all the tables all of the time, but I think we had a very good panel discussion. So next of all, we have a case study which is going to again give us, I suppose, a really good insight into some of the issues around prevention and education. And I'm going to call to the podium Trevor Bissett, who's the coordinator of the Clondalkin Drugs and Alcohol Task Force, and he in turn will introduce Sive. So please give your attention, please.
Okay. Hi everyone, I'm Trevor. I'm the coordinator of Clondalkin Drugs and Alcohol Task Force. Thanks for having me here today. I've been asked to come along and give an input on our work in Clondalkin, and especially to focus on what we're doing around prevention. So what I'm going to do is, I suppose I'm going to give a quick kind of, contextualise prevention very quickly, and then describe the programme that we've been running for the last couple of years. And then we have Sive, who's taken part in the programme very recently. We're going to sit down and I'm just going to ask her a few questions and try to explore her experience of the programme itself. Okay, so just for context, I suppose as a Citizens Assembly, I was a bit disappointed to see that the word prevention wasn't specifically mentioned in the terms of reference, but it is there somehow. It's in quite a broad kind of way. You can see it's kind of covered under that best practice and practical case studies in relation to reducing supply, demand and harm, and increasing resilience, health and well-being. And where we come in is we are, I suppose, in the business of trying to increase resilience, health and well-being. And we like to, I suppose, define prevention in a slightly different way. And we look at it as policies, programs and practices designed to reduce the incidence and prevalence of drug and associated health, behavioural and social problems. Okay, so it's a very specific piece of work that we try to do. Why do we do this? We do this because as a drugs task force, it's our job to design and deliver a local strategy that's based on the needs in the Clondalkin area. And we do that in collaboration with our partners and with consultation with as much of the community as we can collaborate with. This involves a lot of consultation, a lot of meetings, a lot of talking to people, a lot of engaging them. I suppose through the National Drug Strategy as well, we have a national mandate to support the SPHE programme. That's under Action 1.2.3, where it stipulates we should be supporting the SPHE programme and teachers in schools as fully as possible. I suppose schools as well, there's a need there. I've worked in prevention for about 15 years. My colleague who's here today, Tara, has a similar kind of track record in it. And schools are very open to working with task forces. They're also happy to get any help they can around prevention. And that's why we try to support them, because they are part of the community and it's part of the need that's there. I know there's been a lot of talk around prevalence over the last day or two here. But I suppose part of our planning for delivering prevention is that young people do use drugs. Drugs use doesn't stop at the school gates. There are a number of studies out there that show kind of, how significant an issue it is. Things like the health behaviour in school-aged children, the SPAD study, and the My Word survey, for instance. What we try to do with the EPI program model is, I suppose we've been doing, and a lot of task forces, not just ourselves, have been trying to support schools for a long time. We've been calling it the whole school approach for a while, and it's, I suppose, the idea behind it is to provide as comprehensive as possible support to schools. This isn't always possible. A lot of task forces don't have prevention workers. Some task forces don't have schools. So it's kind of a little bit mishmash in some areas, but we're lucky that our own model is we put a lot of focus on it in the last few years, and we're trying to develop it. I suppose it's broken down. I'm going to describe it, using 5 bullet points. We use an interagency approach, which is at the heart of task force work. Task force is about bringing as many agencies as possible together And in the early days, especially, there was, a lot of reps from education would have been on task forces. They would have been involved at different levels in the education department, for instance. The education, the interagency approach requires a lot of patience, a lot of work. Schools in Ireland are quite, they're their own separate entities. So, they do get direction from the Department of Education, but as well as that, there's a lot of personalities and a lot of, different policies in place in different schools, and, each one requires kind of a bespoke approach. We used evidence-based practice, so that's obviously, the combination of using the best research available, practitioners who are experienced and skilled, and then trying to take account of the need of the end user as well. And then the model itself, EPI stands for Education, Prevention and Intervention. Just on the interagency approach, ourselves, Clondalkin Drugs Task Force, laid out on it, but we also are supported in the approach by Crosscare Youth Services in Clondalkin and Clondalkin Wide App, which is a new under 18 service which we've recently established up there. Through our interagency work with the projects, we are able to develop a team, and each organisation will commit staff members and resources to the team. So you can see, you probably can't make that out, but we have our own prevention officer from Clondalkin Drugs Task Force who leads out and is kind of the spearhead of the whole project. We have a number of youth workers who support the project. I think we've 4 currently that are based in Crosscare. And then we have 2 substance use workers and a substance use worker coordinator called a Wide App coordinator who kind of supports them. So it's a fairly big team. We recently got funding as well from the Department of Health to kind of roll this out and add additional workers, which we're really grateful for and excited about. But also add a research element just to, I suppose, underpin the evaluations we are doing on the programme. So evidence-based practice, as I said, it involves a commitment to balancing the expertise of the worker with the needs of the client and the best available research. Okay, so I've said a bit about that already. I'll move on to, I suppose...
Trevor, I know we want to hear the discussion with Sive as well, so just be conscious of time.
Yeah,
okay. Slides.
So education, we use the Unplugged programme. I know you heard from Gregor Burkhardt yesterday, but the Unplugged programme is it's a randomised controlled trial, a tested programme that is proved to be effective at significantly reducing cannabis and alcohol use in young people. It's rated beneficial by the MCDA Exchange Registry. On the prevention side, we will work with the school to provide support to parents, talks, advice, mentoring, stuff like that. We will review the policies, and we'll also provide professional development opportunities for the teachers. So we'll upskill teachers or provide advice and stuff like that. On the intervention side, we try to intervene as early as possible. So where a situation is flagged in a school, either through a policy or through the education piece or through a teacher, we can go into the school and work with that young person and try to, keep them in school and try to support them through a case management process. As time is not on my side, I'm going to go over and speak to Sive. So,
thanks, Trevor.
So, as I said, the programme is made up of education, prevention and intervention. And Sive has taken part in the programme in the last year, and she took part in the education piece. So, Sive, do you mind telling everyone just a little bit about what you think? Is it important for young people to hear about drugs and alcohol in schools?
Yes, I think it is important that teachers teach students and people learn about the effects of drugs, especially in school, because if a student is facing the problem where they are addicted, they can actually come to someone and talk to them about it, or if there's a parent that they can go to, that they can go to them about it. And having the school teach it means that they know that there's someone that they can go to.
Okay, cool, thanks. And how did you find the sessions with Mary and Martina in school?
So when I did the sessions, I did them in TY. So when I was sitting with my class, we were able to have fun, we were able to engage, and even though it was a serious topic, we were still able to enjoy it and have a laugh, but also understand about how serious the topic was. And by the end of the module, when we finished, we all had an understanding of what the effect was and who we could go to, and then we found out that we can talk to anyone about it, just if anyone was facing it.
Thanks, Ive. So yeah, and do you think, I don't know from speaking to you, you've said it's had a big effect on you, but what was the effect of the programme, say, on other people in your class?
For people in my class, I think the effect was that learning about this kind of made us realise how big of an issue it actually is for some people who are actually facing it, and it has become less of a topic that we actually talk about because we've realised how serious it is. So we don't make jokes, we don't say it, and we know that if someone is facing it, we can go to someone about it if we have permission from the person if they're seeking help.
Would you recommend other schools to take part in the programme?
Yeah, I would 100% recommend other schools to take the programme, because from what I know, I really enjoyed it, and from what from my classmates, I know they 100% enjoyed it. And I remember we would sit and we'd be anxiously waiting for the class to start because we just wanted to get moving on to the activities and we didn't want the class to end.
Cool. Is there anything else that you want to add about it just before we finish up?
No, not that I can think. I thought it was really fun. The activities were so much fun, and then it got to help us get to know everyone a little bit better. We got to know more about our classmates, about some of the workers, and we got to learn about the youth clubs and all that. So we got some more people to join them, and then we got to do fun activities, which was the best part about it, I'd say, and it was the best part for everyone. But also the fact that we got to learn about it made it even better.
Yeah. So a bit of fun and lots to learn.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I think we'll leave it at that. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. No, stay. Can I just ask if there's any pressing question anybody would like to ask Saif or Trevor? Just after, yeah, straight away, Joanne. Will you just get your mic, Joanne? Sorry about this. No, I didn't say this was going to happen, but there you go. Sorry, Saif. Joanne, you're okay. We have you.
Oh, Sai, thanks so much for coming to share your story with us. Yeah, it was really great. I just wondering how many lessons you had a week.
We had one lesson a week. It was every Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
And we did it for 8 weeks.
You did it for 8 weeks. Is that something you think that you'd like to see starting in year 1 and completing it right through to year 5, the Leaving Cert year?
Yeah, I think personally starting from second year, maybe third year to all the way to 6th year it should be, because first years don't really know what's going on and they're only starting in a new school.
My final question, did you have an awareness of drugs to the same level prior to doing your SPHE course, or was it valuable for you in the sense that you learnt more about the dangers, or do you know what I mean?
I learned more about the dangers in that class. I kind of knew some of the basic stuff, but I didn't know a lot until after I sat that module.
Okay, thanks so much for your time. Well done.
Anybody else? Anything? No? Okay, Jack, please, yeah.
Thank you very much. I just wanted to ask the teacher or teachers who oversaw this project, were you, Sive, were you familiar with them? And if so, did this familiarity help communicate the message better, make you and your other classmates feel more comfortable?
Well, the two teachers who did it with me, I had actually worked with them in my my local youth club, so I knew them from growing up going to the youth club. So it made my learning a lot easier because I knew them on a personal level, and so did one of my other classmates. But loads of my other classmates got to know them better, which made it even better.
And one more, yeah.
How you doing? Question for both of you is one, family input and support. How much was for you, Steve? Was that important? And to the group itself, how much interaction with families in the community are you getting?
I'm not really sure. Obviously, I have the support from my parents, but I'm not sure about other people. But I know most of my friends, if they were going through it, they could go to their parents. I know, obviously, I could go to mine about it. But some people I know can't, but that's why the teachers are teaching us that we can go to them or we can go to another parent, which I think is amazing.
And thanks again. So, Trevor, go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's just so we offer information sessions to parents. It can be difficult because everyone is so time poor. We try to arrange different times. I think the SPHE programme states that parents should get a module as part of that whole piece, so it's really important. But yeah, it's not always done. We have good uptake on that, but it could be better.
And table 8 has a question there, I think. Sorry,
Yeah, hello.
And the left.
I was just wondering, did her classmates change their views on drugs, like, much, or?
Yeah, so when I was in first, second and third year, as normal, like students would make jokes about it or they would have a laugh and it wouldn't really be a serious topic. It was brought up in class, everyone would just make snickers and jokes. But now, since we all did the module, we're all now in fifth year and it hasn't really come up as like a snickering and laughing. As currently I'm doing a lesson on the effects of drugs, it has changed all of our opinions and we don't sit in the class and laugh and snicker about it. We know the effects and we know what happens and we know that it's not, you can reverse what's going on if you get the help.
And table 11, I think, is a quick one. Sorry about this now, we're getting the value out.
Hi, Sive. Well done. You're doing a great job there. I'm just wondering your opinion on bringing it into 6th class, because we have heard through our meetings that it is getting down to a younger age group. I know you said first year you're getting to, you're just getting your head around being in secondary school. What would your opinion be on bringing it into 6th class?
I mean, if you were to bring it to a 6th class, I think you should bring it not to the level where they brought it for us, because they're not at the mature age to learn about it. They're at a mature age to learn the basics, but not to learn like what could happen and the effects. But I think if you were to teach it, just teach them like the basics, like what they are, some of the effects, not obviously the real severe effects, but some of the lesser ones, and tell them that once you get into the higher levels of school, they will teach you more about this.
Okay, look, I think my only regret is I never had the communication skills and maturity that you have, so at your age. So again, thanks to Trevor and thanks to Saif. We did want to give a real practical case study because it was coming up in questions a lot yesterday, so thanks very much again, well done.